What's going on, guys? TKD123 back in a video, and today we'll talk about a brand new article we just got here from IGN this morning, and it is something that is pretty big news. Now, really, this whole entire console generation, we have gotten a lot of things here with PS4 and Xbox, right? Like, we've gotten a lot of things from them both, and really, what really kind of hit the nail on the coffin when it comes to this generation really was the 2013 E3 press conferences. Now, if you guys remember those things, that was when we had the Xbox E3 event where they just talked about TV and talked about sports, talked about all these things that were not gaming, and it was the complete opposite of what a lot of people wanted out of the Xbox One, and what really a lot of people really was the opposite of what they wanted in a gaming console. They were more advertising like a multimedia media centric esque box, right? It was basically what they were trying to sell rather than trying to sell a game console. Then we get a few hours later, Sony gets on stage and completely demolishes them in every single facet you can ever think of. Like, they were completely DRM free with their games. That was something that was really big on Xbox, where there was something where like the game would be tied to your account and your console, so you couldn't trade games or couldn't have games being used from other people and stuff like that. It was just a whole entire thing that was just a big mess. And with that start of that E3 conference, with that start of the Xbox One, they have constantly been trying to change the message back to what what I feel like a lot of people would really want to hear, which is games. So like, they've been trying so hard, and they got Phil Spencer in there, and Phil Spencer is doing a great job with the company overall, trying to just trying to just turn the ship around. You know what I'm saying? Turn the ship around from the wreck that happened at E3 2013. And to be fair, they have done a very good job at that. It's been like they have been putting out a lot of new things for the Xbox One console. They have been doing a lot of good things within the overall ecosystem as well. Some things are questionable, I feel like. For example, the Xbox Play Games Anywhere thing, where basically you can stream Xbox games and play Xbox games on the PC, and actually I think you can even purchase Xbox games on the PC if I'm not mistaken. I think there's something like that, I believe, and that seems kind of off to me because like, what then if you're gonna be able to buy Xbox One exclusive games on a PC and play them on there, then why even buy an inferior Xbox One console when you can get a super dope PC that does 4K and does all these crazy stuff like that? Like, why not just get a super beast PC rather than buying an Xbox One console? So there's little things like that where I feel like they're kind of losing their overall Xbox brand, to be honest. Like, they're basically just just making the Xbox One console have all their games on the PC, and that's kind of hurting the Xbox One brand, because then why would anybody want to buy an Xbox One? That's just at the point. But they have been doing a lot of cool things here, especially in the last year, with them announcing the backwards compatibility for 360 games. That was definitely a big hit, and has since been a big hit. They've added plenty of big titles on that. It's been getting a lot of support. A lot of good things have been said about it. That's really cool, you know what I'm saying? But they take it to the next level here. This article comes to us from IGN here, and it is just basically detailing that Microsoft has officially announced an Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Now, what exactly is this? Now, this is basically a new on-demand service called Xbox Game Pass, and basically for $10 a month, you can have access to over 100 games at launch, and of course, you'll be adding more, in the coming months or whatever. But basically $10 a month, you can get access to this list of games that you can download and play for free with this subscription. So basically, it's kind of like, I guess, a la carte thing where you can just pick and choose whatever games you want, and you'll be able to download them directly to your console and play the games, on that specific console, as long as you have the subscription. And of course, with anything like this, if you don't pay the subscription or it just runs out, you will not be able to have access to the game, so you download it with the subscription. And this service, as of right now, is only limited to the Xbox One and the Windows 10 PC, so you won't be able to get this on 360 or anything like that. But of course, I assume here that this will be obviously with the Scorpio when that officially gets unveiled and launch whatever this year. And so of course, that's obviously going to be supported, and that's probably what they mean by Xbox One, because they have said that the Scorpio is a part of the Xbox One brand. It's not like it's going to be this brand new thing that is going to try and just kind of pry itself away from Xbox One. It is still an Xbox One ecosystem, I guess, console. And so whenever they bring up Xbox One, also take into consideration that they are also talking about the Scorpio as well. It is one big umbrella of both consoles. And of these 100 games that will be on the service, they will consist of titles from 2K, 505 Games, Bandai Namco Entertainment, Capcom, Capcom, Codemasters, Deep Silver, Focus Home Interactive, Sega, SNK Corporation, THQ, Nordic, GmbH, whatever that stands for, and Warner Bros. So there's definitely, pretty much, pretty good, games here on the catalog. And speaking of games, besides from the devs, the list will be featuring Halo 5 Guardians, Payday 2, NBA 2K16, Soul Calibur 2, and like I said before, they said that they will be offering over 100 titles across Xbox One and 360 games at launch of this service. And then let's say you had the service and, for some reason you want to, I guess, just buy the game outright rather than pay for the service. You will get a discounted price, if you have the subscription. It will be 20% when it comes to an Xbox One game, while 10% comes off of all the DLC with that specific game. And so if you want to do that, I guess you can do that. For some reason, I don't know why anyone would really, I don't really see a point in that, but beside the point, I guess you can do that if you would like to. And as of right now, if you are a part of the Xbox Inside program, you'll be able to be chosen to be put into the beta for the Xbox Game Pass, and you'll be able to try out the service earlier than a lot of people. And if you are a gold member, you'll be able to receive access to the Game Pass a little bit ahead of launch, as opposed to those that are not gold members. So overall, this service sounds like a pretty cool service. It sounds very interesting, and I feel like it's gonna be a great option for a lot of Xbox users. And if I'm actually glad that they actually put out this news and everything ahead of E3, because if this was at the E3 conference, I feel like this would have been a little bit more kind of a repetitive thing where, okay, we're getting more used games, that we're getting more games that have already been released, years old games that have been already released in the past. Like, we are getting 360 titles on this service, right? Like, and that's not a bad thing, just that the main thing that Xbox needs to focus on, I feel, going into E3 is more games, is new IP, new games. Because, man, look, if we look at, the Sony side of things, if we look at PlayStation, we know exactly what's coming out. We have a new God of War coming out, we have a new Spider-Man coming out, we have Days Gone coming out, we have The Last of Us 2 coming out. Like, we know, for the most part, we have the Uncharted DLC, The Lost Legacy coming out as well. Like, we know what to expect, and we know what's, kind of coming on the PlayStation side of things, to a degree, right? Obviously, we don't know, everything. We don't know, the little hits and surprises that they're going to drop at E3, obviously. But for the most part, we know, a good bit of what we'll be getting here in the next few years or whatever. If we look at the Xbox side, honestly, the only game that comes to mind that is coming out is legit Crackdown 3. I don't even know, and of course, maybe, that could be just me being, just biased towards PlayStation, obviously. But, just off the top of my head, I follow games a lot. Like, I like to keep up in the games industry, to know exactly what's coming out for every console, stuff like that. Like, I like to know and be in the loop of things. But honestly, with Xbox, I can literally only think of Crackdown 3 that is even potentially coming out for the console. Like, I don't know any other exclusives, any other games that are coming out for that, other than, of course, multi-platform games. And that's the biggest issue here, is that, like, Xbox, listen, they want to sell Scorpio. I get that, right? Like, they want Scorpio to be a big thing, but Scorpio needs new IP, it needs new games, it needs new life in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot sell a console off of a service that is going to be just games that we played 10 years ago on the 360, on the Xbox One, obviously not 10 years ago with the Xbox One games. But, bottom line, maybe, of course, their whole thing is not obviously to sell the Scorpio just based off of this Game Pass service. Obviously, that's probably not what it is. But it's just that, I just hope that this is telling that they'll be coming out with E3 and having just hit after hit and game after game, a new IP after new IP. That's what I'm hoping for with E3, because, a healthy Xbox is a healthy, game industry overall, right? And obviously, if you look at the sales figures with the Xbox One sales, it is outpacing the 360 in every single facet, every single month, month on month. So obviously, the console's pretty healthy overall, but I just feel like there has to be more games, man. Like there has to be more and more games coming out for the Xbox One and the Scorpio if they want it to really take off and be, an overall success that they hope, it is to be. And my honest opinion here on this whole thing here, looking at the timing that they dropped this news, right? It is months before E3. It is they are wanting to get this out way in advance, when it comes to E3 2017. They don't want, this to be on the E3. I'm assuming because, they obviously wouldn't, be talking about it right now. Maybe they might go into like a little bit of depth about it, and maybe just to save time for them to, hopefully unveil some new things at E3. But hopefully this is just a way so that they can conserve time to, bring out some of the good stuff that everyone has been wanting, aka new IPs, new games, and new, just stuff like that, right? And obviously, I feel, maybe the majority of their conferences here will be, revolving around the, Scorpio console as a whole, right? And like what it's going to be doing, maybe the aesthetic of it, obviously, release date, price, all stuff like that. So they're going to be doing a lot of that as well this E3. So we're going to see a ton of that. But also, I want to see new games. I want to see games on Xbox One. I want to see games, that are going to be good for the console and good for the consumer and good for overall the blood of Xbox One. Because I'm pretty sure, they learned from E3 2017 that you cannot sell a console and they did sell Xbox Ones, okay? Like it's not like they're not selling consoles, but you cannot sell, I guess, a healthy, thriving, I guess, community with the, Xbox One off of just TV and off of, used games and games that we've already had before. I'm pretty sure they have learned their lesson at this point, and I'm hoping that this is just a way that they won't repeat themselves in the process. And that's all I got. That is my time. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share down below in the comments. I appreciate all of you exhibit me. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.